is strength, flexibility, and endurance in one group of exercise and rejuvenation. It took me 20 seconds to do all of it. Anyway, hey guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Save the Planet. And you saw the thumbnail. Cancer prevention. Now, you notice I didn't say cancer cure. It's not what I'm talking about. Trillions of dollars has been heaped on cancer cures, and we're no closer to it now than we have been ever. Cancer prevention, people don't talk about too much. Why? Because it's very, very simple. And if everybody on the planet did it, it would wipe out those trillions and trillions of dollars for cancer cures, all those drugs, all those chemotherapy. You don't realize what a bag of chemo costs? It's like $50,000. It's ridiculous. So, in other words, if we were going to prevent cancer, this all goes away. Now, it will save the planet, but the powers that be, Pfizer and Merck and all them, they don't care. Cancer is big money. Anyway, I want to get away from the politics of it. I really do. Many of you watching this may have had somebody with cancer and had cancer, whatever, and find what I just said offending. Okay? I'm sorry about that, but this is the case. Now, most, if not all, of our diseases start exactly the same way. Okay? 4 stages of disease, which gets to cancer, and I'll get to that in a second. But every single one of them starts with some sort of inflammation. Now, what happens is this. We have 2 main fluid systems in our body. We have hundreds of trillions of cells. Who knows for sure? Not me. Okay. Another thing, guys, I have to say this right off the bat. My doctoral work is in nutrition. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a research scientist or anything. So if some of these facts are not absolutely precise that I'm talking about, cancer. And remember, nobody knows anything about cancer for the most part. But what I'm going to give you is a very, very broad definition of how this all goes about. And I say that right up front. There could be absolutely different variations, genetic mutations and all this that I'm not aware of, and I'm the first one to tell you that. I'm out of my league when I'm talking about all the cancer science that goes into it. All right? What I do know for sure, for absolute sure, is how we can prevent it. All right? Now, here's the deal. 100 trillion cells. 2 main fluid systems. I told you. I've just reduced the body into trillions of cells and 2 main fluid systems. So you see, it's a very broad, general thing that I'm doing here. All right? And the 2 main fluid systems are quite simple. The blood, which brings all the vitamins, nutrients, and everything to the cells, and the lymphatic system, which is our toilet system, our sewer system, which takes all the waste material from all the cells and gets it out of the body. That, in a nutshell, is how the body works. And I told you, very broad description. Okay? Now, as I've said many times, when that sewer system, the lymphatic system, is so clogged up with toxic garbage, it seeps back into the rest of the body. It seeps back into the blood. The blood can absolutely 100% get contaminated. Leukemia. Okay? We'll get to that in a minute. Okay? And things start to get inflamed. Every type of disease starts, number one, with inflammation. Okay? Inflammation from a disease of filth that we talked about, malaria and the different flus and all that sort of stuff. Start with a disease of filth inside your body, that lymphatic system backing up. It's no different than a backed up toilet. No different whatsoever. It is literally a backed up toilet that's going into your body. Now, inflammation. That any time of inflammation is called itis. Colds, flus. If that inflammation ends up in your lungs, bronchitis. If it ends up of inflammation in a joint, arthritis, tendonitis. All right? All arthritis does, and I have a video on it, is inflammation. Okay? You get rid of the inflammation, you have no arthritis. Okay? Now, when the inflammation is not tended to properly, and it gets extreme, you have ulceration. Okay? A sore, a bleeding sore. Okay? Everybody's heard when we're talking of the colon, and this is basically what we're talking about. Now, the toxicity can get to any part. It can get to the brain. It can get to the whatever. But let's talk about the colon because that's pretty much where it starts. Okay? Colon, an ulcer in your colon. It happens all the time. Okay? And when they bleed, that causes trouble, blah, 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 blah. Now, in the body's infinite wisdom, it rushes to try to fix that ulcer, wherever it may be, and it sort of gets a hardening of the artery, whatever. We've heard hardening of the arteries, right? That is called an induration. Okay? And that is just almost like a scab, for lack of a better term, forming around the bleeding ulcer. Okay? And then, if it still gets extreme, then this induration turns into a tumor, a cyst, a nodule, a fibroid, whatever you want to call it. And then you've got your cancer. Now, who knows how quickly this whole thing takes? Okay? But the point is, you've got time to head that off at the pass before it gets to the cancer or the fibroid or the nodule stage. All right? And how do you do that, guys? Simple. No question about it. You can go and take a juice cleanse, a $10 book, a juice cleanse, and flush out the toxicity. That fetid, stinky, smelling, rotting, festering filth that's in your colon is what causes just about every single problem we have. Every single problem we have. Now, if you've been following these videos for any amount of time, if you have type 2 diabetes, if you have heart disease, if you have high blood pressure, anything, I put you on the same thing. I start you on a cleanse, you morph into a whole food, raw fruit and veggie diet, throw in some kettlebells. That's how I treat my athletes. That's just how I would treat somebody with all these maladies. Now, when it gets to the cancer stage, as you know, we pour battery acid into the person, chemotherapy, and we try to literally burn it out. Now, one of the few times that a juice cleanse is not what you want, okay? If you have had cancer recently and you've had the chemo, that chemo burns its way in, and if you do a juice cleanse, it is the remnants of it are going to come out, and that's going to burn its way out, guys, and that's not healthy. So, If you have had chemo in the last year, 2 years, something like that, do the cleanse with caution. All right? But other than that, guys, that is cancer prevention. And you can start before you even have inflammation and cleanse it. There's no inflammation in me, guys. None. I get a little allergies. Dust, mold, mildew, like all of us. Leaves at the changing of in the fall. Pollen and everything in the spring. Yes, I get bags out of my eyes. I get little runny eyes and all that sort of stuff. And I see me wiping. Those are all allergies. But there's no inflammation in me whatsoever, guys. And every single time that I cleanse, the allergies are very, very minute. Okay? But guys, cancer prevention. Guys, and the thing that kills me, and please don't take this the wrong way. When I see the whole day for Susan B. Komen, which we haven't had for such a long time, we see all these cancer survivors wearing pink and out, in parades and everything, and joining hands and everything. What is the number one cause of cancer? Meat, dairy, fish, protein. Absolutely one. There's no question about that. But how many of those people that are out there, cancer survivors, with their pink on, are vegans? If it's like the national average, it's less than 1% of those people. So here they have the most traumatic thing in their life. And what do? And I don't blame it on them because their doctor didn't tell them this. They go right back to what meat, dairy, fish, which probably caused the thing in the first place. And I don't want to say the whole movement is hypocritical. But guys, that's what's going on. And that has to stop. That cycle has to stop, and the best way to prevent the C word and break that cycle is a True Power Juice Cleanse. Get to me. Today. PayPal me $10 at the email at the end of this video, and you will have the book today. Get to work on your True Power Cleanse for you and for your family. And live your life with true power. Love you all.